guys. Thanks for tuning into the Real Talk with Michelle podcast. Welcome back. This is episode number 56, Real Talk about Mindset Shifts. This episode kind of has been an accumulation of things that have been going on in and around me, and it's always something I always come to share with you, lessons that I've been learning on this journey, this ascension journey, this journey into breaking patterns and getting out of mind cycles that we tend to get ourselves into when we start to get down on something or try to honestly, when we get into negative cycles, if I could just call it anything, like negative patterns and cycles that we get to, and our mindset stays on this negative part. What I first wanted to say is, for those of you who are wondering, like, what are you even talking about? Your mindset. What is your mindset? Your mindset is the established set of attitudes that you hold on to, like how you approach situations, how you deal with situations. A lot of the time we get into these mindsets, and these mindsets come about because of just how we're conditioned, how we grow up, things that we've heard, and everybody knows, like, you're around people, you tend to take on the way that they view life, which is why if you go back some episodes, I'm like, hey, you gotta let some people go so you can start to change the way that you view your reality, and you can pick new people with whom can give you new healthy ways to think about your life and your situations. One common thing that undermines how we live our dream life: your mindset, your beliefs, the way you think, because as we said before, our beliefs create our outcomes, our perceptions create our reality. The story that we tell ourselves is the story we believe. What are you telling yourself about certain situations that you go through? Is it a limiting mindset? Is it something where you're like, I can only have this much, or I can only have this situation if I have this, and like always thinking that things have to like line up, or we have to understand everything right in the moment, because it's not true. In order to really manifest and move forward out of situations that we don't desire, we have to shift our mindset. We have to get down into it and really think, where does these limiting thoughts start? And I wanted to come and to discuss some ways that I got myself out of these negative mindsets, how I actually sat down with myself and was like, hey girl, like, this ain't it. Like, I had a situation come up where, as in someone told me something and I didn't immediately react. I reacted later, and that reaction happened because, like, in my mind, I had already started to tell myself these things about the situation, instead of like sitting with them and kind of working through them in my mind and trying to figure out like where this original thought had occurred. Which, I don't know if we talked about breaking patterns before, but we'll get there. I feel like we talked about our triggers, and when we talked about our triggers, I'm pretty sure our triggers come from some pattern situation that we've dealt with in the past. But I wanted to share ways that we can start to shift our minds, shift our brains to go into these better, healthy, because that's what we're trying to do here at Real Talk with Michelle, is to be healthy, happy, free, loving individuals. Like, that's what we're trying to do. So I wrote down a few things that I wanted to share. And I wanted to start with one way is to believe in yourself. And I always counter these with certain mantras that you can start to say to yourself. So it's easy for somebody to say, believe in yourself. But something that you can tell yourself is, I am enough. You know, everything that's going on around us is always going to make us feel sometimes less than, like we don't have enough. We don't have everything that we need to get to the next level. I don't have, for instance, like starting this podcast, I didn't have a microphone. That was going to come eventually. My computer has a microphone, so I have everything that I need to start this. So everything, I am enough. You are enough to get through any situation. So always start there. Like that's number one. Number two, start showing up as the new you. And I always counter that with, I am being my authentic self. So every situation that you get yourself into, if you go into this situation thinking that you're not supposed to be on the level with these people, or this new group of thing, or this new group, or this new exercise thing you're trying, if you don't believe like, hey, I can change, like whatever, then you're not going to be able to. So any situation that you put yourself in, start showing up as the new you. I have been doing this 100% for the past 2 years, a little bit with some fallbacks, again, falling into old pattern behaviors, etc. But I started to notice that the more that I showed up as this new reborn version of myself, that other people either had to adjust to being around me now because I was putting out new energy, or they just went away because they couldn't deal with the fact that I wasn't operating in the same capacity. So it's super important when you're shifting your mindset to start showing up as the new you. Don't just say, I don't drink alcohol and I don't do this anymore. Start showing up as that person. Start turning down the drinks. Start, saying I'm not gonna do this. Like when I tell people like, hey, like I exercise on these days, I do these things on these days, people stopped asking me to do stuff on those days because this new version of myself was asking for something different. And that includes your attitude, okay? You gotta shift that attitude if you're coming and expecting people to respect you as you are, your authentic self. Also, I would say, believe in what could be. I am capable of doing what I put my mind to. So a lot of the times we sit there and we say to ourselves, we're like, that would never happen for me. So honestly, all universe hears is that will never happen. And so it doesn't put any energy behind trying to help you manifest this thing, help you get this thing. You actually have to believe it. So if I'm saying like, I'm abundant, I have everything I need, all of my needs are met, but I don't back that up with like action and things, like it won't happen. So always believe that whatever you put your mind to, whatever it is that you have thought of, already exists. Okay? All of it. Anything you conceive, an idea, whatever, it's there, it's yours. You just have to believe it could happen. Okay? I've helped people with things like this. I have talked to my friends. I'm like, yo, you got to switch that. This can be yours. Get to it. There's one step that you can take, and now the ball is rolling. The action is starting. Switch your mindset. Another one that I wrote down is, everything is happening for your greatest good. I am in alignment with the universe. Okay, so everything is happening for you. So I often talk about this one when we're sitting there and we're like, why is this happening to me? Like what's going on? Shifting your mindset looks like, in this instance, instead of saying why this is happening to me, start saying why is this happening for me? What is this situation trying to teach me? Because everything that's not in an alignment with our greatest good will keep on, the universe will keep on trying to get it away from you. I know we've had this happen in relationships where we try to hold on to people so tight and we're like, no, please don't leave me, don't go away, don't go away. Do you ever notice that when you do that, every other part of your life starts to feel something trickle down, like something happens, like you get a flat tire on the way to work, or you you lose money, you like your like things don't work for you in your home, you keep losing things. This is the power of the universe. The universe is really saying to you, yo, when you gonna let that thing go? Because we're trying to bring in something else, like something really, really, really great, but you keep holding on to this thing. I am a living breathing testament of this. Go back and listen, okay? Go back to other episodes of the Real Talk with Michelle podcast. You will hear me testify to this, guys. I could not see. I had no voice. These things, like, the universe is just like, girl, do you just, you don't want to talk, or you don't want to see stuff, you just want to just keep, you got like your car, somebody hit your car, like a hit and run, like somebody hit my car, y'all. Like I had to pay like $500 out of pocket for my insurance to hit my car. Like somebody took the front bumper off my car, like when I went into a restaurant, okay? And it was because I needed to release something, because that was not good for me. It wasn't good for me. So like changing your mindset is starting to realize, like, everything is happening for my greatest good, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment, and like you're sad, like it's something inside, emotional, something that needs to come out. Things have to change so that this good that the universe has to give you can come out. To come out to play, okay? Live your best life. Do not stay in this downtrodden, why is this happening to me? Because it's happening for a reason, okay? Another one to change your mindset is to stay present. This is also a learning lesson for me. I'm just trying to share gems, okay? Because I've been through all of this and probably will continue to go through it and learn until I break through some things. And I always say, I will go with the ebbs and the flows. Say that to yourself. Make it a mantra. I will go with the ebbs and flows. Because if we're not present in our moment, we're thinking about the past, and that's just gonna cause you like some anxiety or depression. It's gonna cause you depression, thinking about the past and all the things you didn't do. And then thinking about the future is what causes anxiety. Who has time? Because we don't know. We don't know. Everything's unfolding as it should. So you have to stay present. And I write that on my mirror. I'm like, stay present, girl. Like, I see it first thing in the morning because I have a tendency, I love nostalgia. I also like to future plan, but I've just started to realize, like, make a plan, but don't think it's written in stone. You know, write it in your pen or whatever, but just know that you need to stay present for your mind state to stay positive, because thinking about the past and thinking about the future too far ahead and too far back, it's just gonna cause you like this emotional turmoil. I am an air sign. I have a double air. I have a Gemini sun and an Aquarius rising, okay? I stay in my mind. I love it. It's how my ideas happen. It's like where inspiration comes from. I'm a chatter. As you can see, I love to talk. So it's easy for me to like want to go back to the past and like relive something and then shoot to the future, like at my Aquarius side, and like try to fix things. But I can't because it goes too far and it makes me worry. Like, who worries about the future? I worry about the future, and that's like No bueno. Messes up the mindset. Moving on. Number 6, stop overthinking. Okay, this kind of goes into stay present. Stop overthinking. And the affirmation that I put with that is, what is mine will always be mine. Surrender to the outcome. Okay? Stop overthinking. Like, what are we even overthinking about? We don't control anything. We control ourselves, but we don't control other people. We don't control what happens like outside of our personal little orb in our universe. We don't control any of that. We can try. That's just it's gonna make you feel terrible because nobody's gonna do what you want them to do. Lesson, learn that one too. Stop overthinking. It's overthinking how I put it to my air sign self and also that Scorpio moon. Hello, emotional. Stop overthinking. It's a prison for your mind. It's a prison. It's a prison to live in there. It's a prison. Like, just living inside of your mind all day long and not living, because essentially that's what happens when we get into like our mind mazes, is that we are not living in our truths right in that moment. So it's easy for our mindset to just, you're thinking about, did I get that job? You're overthinking about like something your boss did. You're thinking about like things that happened like yesterday. You're constantly thinking. Just realize that what's supposed to be yours will always be yours. Just relax, surrender to the outcome. Know again that everything is happening for your greatest good. Also, best mindset shift in the world is just kind of to be yourself. And I say this 100% as I am coming back into the essence of who I was. There's a lot of ego death that had to happen over here for me to 100% be myself. And I'll tell you what, the affirmation that I wrote down for that was, there can only be one me. So I have stopped comparing and contrasting and looking at other people's stuff. And I just started to pay attention to me, like nurture myself. So I started, like I said, to start showing up as actually me. And so people will be like, man, you used to be like da 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 all the time. And I'm like, great. Well, that person was another version of myself. Like, now this person, which has 100% kind of like turned into a nerd. I think I was pretending to be a really cool girl. I'm actually really a nerd, okay? I'd much rather be at home with a glass of wine and a book, listening to a book, walking my dog. I like being at home, okay? So I am an extrovert, but I'm really, really an introvert at the core. I just like to get out a little every now and then, chat with people, because it's how I get ideas. But be yourself. Show up as you. We need to see you. We would love to see you, sis. We love to see you, bro. Like, we want to see you show up as you, 100%. Give us what you got, because we need it. And there's only one you. And the biggest way to have a mindset shift is, honestly, like, if you've been pretending like you were the people you hang around or the circles that you used to keep, and that's not you, then of course you're gonna feel down when you're starting to have a shift and you can't keep up with the ghosts anymore. Okay, I can't keep up with the ghosts anymore. People know not to ask me to go out after a certain time. I'm tired. Okay, I've been in bed. I've been in my socks. I took a shower at like like 5 p.m. I ain't going nowhere. They don't even ask me anymore. I do get asked out like earlier in the evening. I like that shit. That means that I showed up as me and people are respecting me and my boundaries, and I love it. I'm gonna say the next one that I wrote down is you become what you think. So, which is all tying in together. Mindset shifts can only happen if you like believe. So if you think that you're not worthy, you don't deserve, also, universe, I'm just speaking in terms, this is not me, so tack this onto my life. But if you think that you don't deserve, you can't have it's not for you, that only happens for so and so, then that's what's gonna happen. And I know I say universe, God, spirit, the higher powers, your ancestors, all of them are like, girl, what? Because what do you mean you can't have? Like, you can have whatever you want. So don't think anything negative, okay? Even when you feel like it sometimes, write it down in your journal or something, but you cannot, don't even write that down in your journal. Write down what you like, your mindset in that moment, and journal it out. But make sure that you say that I deserve to be happy. I want good people in my life. Negate that, but you become what you think, period. Okay, that is all. Also, I wrote down, last but certainly not least, be grateful. And I wrote down the affirmation, I have everything I need inside me. Be grateful. That's why we always end with the daily gratitude, and we chit chat with ourselves. And because this being grateful, this starting of like making it, yeah, we always say like yes, whatever, like if we're not practicing it, like when I wake up every day, I promise I like roll over, look out the window, and just say all of the things that I'm grateful for. I have to, in my mind, I don't have to say it out loud, but I always say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for waking me up. I am so blessed. Okay, do you realize what kind of vibrations you give off when you do that? Like, can you even imagine? It's so amazing. Everything you need is inside of you. Your mindset, man, it's infinite. So imagine if you woke up every day and you started like that. When you put out that vibration, can you imagine the energy that you get back? Can you? Okay. I'm telling you, every day there's a gratitude practice. I write in my journal and I say I'm thankful when little things happen, because when you start to be able to pay attention to how your mind, it affects everything around you. And I'm going to tell you, there's been some instances where I was like, whoo, child, like this bank account is changing a little bit, but I don't talk about it in a negative way because I have everything that I need. I realize I have a place to sleep. I have a car. My bills get paid. Everything happens. But, sometimes you get a little like, ooh, it's not coming in the same way that I used to. Coronavirus has put little strains on the way everybody has operated. And I'll tell you what, that Cash App will ding or something, and it'll be like one of my girls at the salon would have paid me early, because I just thought to myself, I'm like, I'm so abundant, I have everything I need. I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm not gonna give any brain space to worrying. And do you know that cash flows into me, or somebody invites me to dinner and pays for it, or all these things just to remind me like I'm so grateful that I have attracted these situations to myself with my mindset, okay? With the way that I think, with the way that I approach life. It's so beautiful. Oh my God. Whew. Okay. All right. That's really what I wanted to share. And I just wanted to say, like, shift your thinking and you can shift your life. Change your story, change your narrative. Like, any day that you wake up and you want to be something else, you can. Like, no one is stopping you, okay? I'm gonna tell you the truth. I reinvent myself every few years. Like, it's a cycle for me, and it's a wonderful cycle because each version of myself gets better, and the next one gets better. And I amaze myself because I'm like, dang girl, I didn't even know you knew all that, because it's like stored information inside of us. If we can break these negative cycles and find them, like, there's so many good gems inside of us, and there's so many things I want to share with you that I've been doing, that I have been unlocking these secret chambers. Okay, these secret chambers. And I mean, wow. Change your story, okay? Tell yourself, who you want to be moving forward, what your life looks like. Write it down. Start living like you already lived that life. And I'm not saying don't go out and like buy a Bentley or anything, unless you can. If you can, buy one. But I'm not saying go out and like spend all your money. This is going to be some inside work, but change your story and watch how your life starts to change. Like, universe is just waiting for you to tell it what to do, what you want, what that looks like, how that makes you feel. Because that happy vibration that sets off when you think about this future life that you want is what's actually propelling you to get to that future point. Change your story, tell the story to yourself. Okay, I write it down all the time, what I think, what I know I want my future to look like, and I talk about it, I speak about it. I've talked about this podcast, and boom, here it is, 56 episodes later, all learning, all starting out one way, taking another pivot, being unsure, stepping out of being unsure and into power, starting over again. And it's all about mindset. I could have been like, man, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I quit. I'm like, no, I'm going to take like a little break, do a few little things. When I'm inspired, I'll do, and then I'll put some processes in order, and then I'm going to keep going because I don't really know how to quit anything. It's not part of who I am. I don't know how to quit. I'll keep going, but then that's another thing. Spirit does tell you when to quit. But this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Sharing stories, giving you motivation, helping you go to the next level in your own spiritual journey and finding out what your life's purpose is. And one way we're going to get to that is mindset shifts, because some of us are in mind prisons and we got to get out of there. So I am going to take a small break and let us hear from the sponsors. Hi guys, welcome back to the Real Talk with Michelle podcast. And we are on episode 56, Real Talk about mindset shifts, which, you know, if you've been here, we've talked about it. We got there. I want to jump right into the daily gratitude. Today, right now, I am grateful for being able to share this information, share this moment. I'm grateful. I wrote down, I'm grateful for exercise, which I did today, which I do want to say. I want to say first, I am definitely grateful for being able to share with you. I'm so excited to share with you more things along this journey that I've been going through, learning so much, sharing with my other people in my spiritual circles. And I've been trying a lot of the healing modalities that we talked about in Real Talk about Metaphysical Healing. Okay? I'm going to talk about the ones that I've tried. Also, I wrote down I'm grateful for being able to exercise. Today I went to my gym. It's called Hot Box. It's in Nashville. I love it. I didn't do kickboxing today. Today I did the strength class and we did lower body burn. And let me tell you, honey, I am not going to be able to walk tomorrow. And I'm grateful for this body, okay? Because somehow it's going to have to get me out of the bed. My homegirl, Mia, recommended to me blockchain amino acids, which I have been drinking after my workouts, and I have not been as sore. They have been a lifesaver, because I know that if I had not been drinking these and kind of building up, some goodness in my body, I really wouldn't be able to walk tomorrow. But I'm just saying, I'm not going to be able to walk tomorrow. We did sumo squats, squat jumps, weighted lunges, lunge jumps, all kind of glute bridgey, box jumps. If I didn't lose you in there, we did it like kind of 7 minutes, 4 station style. Do as many as you can. Probably about 4 exercises each. Y'all, the last thing I did was kettlebell swings, and I'm just gonna tell you, I'm finished. I'm done. I can't even imagine what I'm gonna feel like tomorrow. I'm probably gonna drink some more of my little blockchain amino acid BCAAs. I'm probably gonna drink some more of those, because I'm going to have to. Thank you. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's put out those good vibrations. I wanted to, the guest gratitude today, we do not have a guest gratitude today. That is fine. I am going to pull these guest gratitudes out of y'all if I have to make an Instagram story about it every day. Send me your guys' gratitudes. You can answer the story, or you can send me an email at realtalkwithmichelle@gmail.com if you want to give a guest gratitude. I would appreciate it. Send them in. I like to see them. I've gotten a few. I really love to see them. Again, that's realtalkwithmichelle@gmail.com to send your guest gratitude. But I decided today, since we didn't have a guest gratitude, which I'll try to incorporate in when I don't get one until I start receiving them. But I'm going to receive them because that's how the universe works. I'm positive. I'm optimistic. I know that eventually, the more and more you listen, the more and more you want to share your gratitude, your daily gratitude, your things that you're the most happy about every day. But I'm going to incorporate some thoughts or something that's kind of happened. And the other day when I was working through jumping out of a pattern and a trigger, I had to calm myself. And when I calmed myself finally, and I had worked through it, journaled through it, I was reading something and I wrote down, everyone is having their own human experience. I can only control mine. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Like, we cannot, that's on my wall because it's really important for me to realize I'm coming out of, God, you don't want to say sometimes, but you know, my partner brought this to my attention, being manipulative. I don't want to be manipulative. And when I think back at it, I'm like, oh my God, I really was trying to control people with manipulative behavior. It is so bad. I don't do it anymore. But, God, I'm sorry, everybody. If you listen and I did that to you, I ain't know. I didn't know. It's not funny, but I'm sorry. But everyone is having their own human experience. I can only control mine. That's all I want to do. I don't want to control anybody else. Please, free will be free will, because I am not trying to keep anything that is not for my greatest good, because no. So here we are. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Real Talk with Michelle podcast, Real Talk about mindset shifts. I am so happy that you're here. I'm so happy that I could share this information with you. I cannot tell you how grateful I am that you guys have been listening, you have been subscribing, you have been leaving feedback. I'm grateful for that, because it lets me know that this is some information that you would like to hear. And man, I love it, guys. Okay. All right. Again, thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.